Eric, good morning to you, and thanks for being with us. I wonder if you were listening to the Lena Khan interview over the last hour, perhaps seeing some of the headlines, maybe you could talk about the regulatory side of this, as it is a big question for the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal, too.
Oh, absolutely. And thanks for having me on. You know, your previous guest was saying this as well. The tech world in particular is the most dynamic it's ever been in history. And for tech players, in a way, they have to skate where the puck is going rather than where it is now. And this obviously has regulatory and legal implications. It creates a very delicate balance between tech players being strategic versus overplaying their hand. So put it another way, it's very hard to prove the difference between healthy competition versus unlawful monopolistic behavior, especially when you look at that on a global scale. You know, we work with a number of these large tech players, and I can tell you that they are very sensitive to these issues. They take a great deal of care when they're identifying these potential targets. And the key is to develop a point of view where not only the market segment is today, but where it is many, many years from now. And that becomes, the longer you take the timeline out, it becomes more and more complex.
So, Eric, I wonder if you think with all the scrutiny on big tech, does this open the field for some of the names that aren't immediately obvious? We know that Walmart was interested in TikTok once. Disney could be making some moves in the space. We know Netflix, although we can include it with big tech, is interested in gaming. Do you think that we could start to see more deals from these players outside of that mega cap group?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So, you know, if you kind of take a step back, this rapid rate of change in technology makes almost every company a technology company. So the aperture has become really, really big. That's number one. But number two, at this very moment, we have the largest amount of capital in private hands ever. That's in the form of venture capital and private equity. Plus, all of the companies you mentioned and many others have massive cash war chests that they've amassed. So this allows for new and cutting edge technologies to be developed faster, become more disruptive than ever. And the advent of these technologies weave through developer communities. They weave through parts of the technology schema that are not even within a lot of these businesses. So as we think about this through the lens of antitrust, it's absolutely not a static issue. It's absolutely in a state of change. But in addition, your question is spot on. You're going to see a number of players that we don't traditionally think of as tech, thinking about how they play this, whether that's through M&A or through partnership and investment.